Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for language.
Yay.
You need out your language notebook. And today we are looking at interjections. Label your notebook at the top, interjections, with today's date of February 10th. Mrs. Bush loves interjections. I probably use them too much. When using them in writing, the big thing we need to make sure is that we're actually not using them too much. If you use them too much, then it will kind of ruin a little bit of your writing and the value of your writing because they can just be overused. All right, here we go.
How do you spell it?
In Mrs. Bush's fashion, of course, we have a song. How do you spell interjection? Hold on, I'll go back for you. It's actually just how it sounds. Hold on. My mouse is not happy. There we go. All right, there is how you spell it. All right, hold on. I'm getting a
Maintenance
song.
fee, ATM fee. Or how you afford it.
Sure. What's a 4-piece 10 cookies?
I do too.
With a BMO Harris Smart Advantage account, you can get cash from over 40,000 fee-free ATMs nationwide. As your body grows in, your mind must flow. It's great to learn.
Knowledge is power.
It's Schoolhouse Rocket, a chip off the block. On your favorite Schoolhouse Rock.
When Reginald was home with flu, the doctor knew just what to do. He cured the infection with one small injection, while Reginald uttered some interjections.
Hey, that's smart. Ouch, that hurt. Yeah, that's not fair. Giving a guy a shot down there.
Interjections.
Hey, something. Yeah. Ouch.
They're generally set apart from a sentence by an exclamation point or by a comma when the feeling's not as strong. Though Geraldine played hard to get, Geraldo knew he'd woo her. Yes, he showed his affection despite her objections, and Geraldine hollered some interjections.
Well, you've got some nerve. Oh, I've never been so insulted in all my life. Hey, you're kind of cute.
Interjections.
Well,
Excitement
oh,
or emotion.
hey.
Generally set apart from a sentence by an exclamation point or by a comma when the feeling's not as strong. So when you're happy or sad or frightened or mad or excited,
Wow.
or glad,
She was a little
interjection
extreme.
starts a sentence right. The day was tight at 7 on when Franklin found he had the ball. He made a connection in the other direction, and the crowd started shouting out interjections.
Ah, you threw the wrong way. Darn, you just lost the game.
Hooray, I'm for the other team.
Interjections. Excitement.
Darn.
Hooray! Generally set apart from a sentence by an exclamation point or by a comma when the feeling's not as strong. So when you're happy or sad or frightened or mad or excited
Wow.
or glad,
Hey.
an interjection starts a sentence right. Interjections.
Hey.
Excitement
Hey.
or emotion. They're generally set apart from a sentence by an exclamation point or by a comma when the feeling's not as strong. Interjections show excitement or emotion. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah.
interjections show what?
Emotion.
Emotions. Yeah, our feelings. So that's why I said Mrs. Bush uses lots of interjections when talking. And I think a lot of you guys do too. Just watch in your writing, though, how often you're using interjections, okay? You don't want to use them too often. So a definition. A word or group of words used to express strong feelings or to attract attention. Use sparingly in your formal writing, like research papers. And I would actually say, they say in your formal writing, I would say in all of your writing, okay? You don't want to use them too often. And they have Mr. Willy Wonka there from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory with a funny picture saying, "Did you just interrupt my conversation with an obnoxious interjection of the word tacos? Aren't you random?" That's something Mrs. Bush would do, just saying a random interjection. Ask Mrs. Long. I do it all the time. Oh, too fast. Alright, so here are some examples of interjections. These are not all of them. However, this is a good list of them. We have meaning an explanation of fear, or realization or acceptance, bingo. Bingo's not often used in the game, but not in everyday conversation. Just acknowledging that something is right. Woo, wow, yay, yeah, yikes. I use that one a lot, even when teaching to you guys. Let me think for a minute. Ew. Oh, oops, ouch, shh, and yippee. You guys hear that one a lot. Shh. All right, a couple other examples along with it. All right, punctuation. They talked about in our Number Rock song the punctuation to use. You have two options for punctuations with interjections. If it's something that's really strong interjection, so you're really saying it with lots of emotion, maybe even saying it louder because you're having so much feeling behind it, then you would use an exclamation point. Like, for example, if you won $1 million, are you just kind of going to have a little bit of feeling if you won $1 million? No, you are going to have an overabundance of feelings. So when you say that woo, it's going to have an exclamation point because it's such strong feelings. However, if you're talking about your homework and how I gave you homework and you're going to do your homework, you know, it's about that time, are you going to have lots of strong feelings? No, it's kind of more just like, So then it would get a comma if it has more mild feelings. Okay?
This person in Jurassic World, he said 1 million slow.
Nice. As like an interjection. Alright, so I want you to find the interjection in your language notebook. Number 1, write it down. Ugh, I dislike eggs in the morning. Mrs. Bush and Mrs. Long both like eggs in the morning. They're good. Mrs. Bush has the better eggs though because I have my own chickens, so I have farm fresh brown eggs. Mrs. Long has to buy hers from the store, so they're not as good as Mrs. Bush's. Number 1, tell me the interjection in number 1. Bradley. Ugh, yeah. Number 2, you scored much higher on this test than you did on the last one. Congratulations. Tell me the interjection in number 2. Congratulations. Write it in your language notebook. Not just sitting. Active learners, come on. Number 3, ouch, I slammed my finger in the car door. Write it in your language notebook. Brooklyn, what is it? Ouch. I have done that before. And do you know when I did that, my fingernail fell off. It was so gross. It turned like this ugly purple color. And then my dad tried to do something to help it. And he was smart. He actually took a drill. And my finger swelled so much because it was like bleeding underneath the nail. And he took a drill and he drew a little hole in the middle of it to like relieve the pressure. And it helped some, but the nail still fell off. And still to this day, that nail is not normal. It's kind of a little funny.
Can we see?
You can't like see it that it's any different. See my nails, so pretty. They're pink and red for Valentine's Day. Yeah, you can't see it. It's more that I can tell that it's different, and it doesn't grow as much as the other ones. It kind of is just like always short, no matter what. All right, number 4. Aha! Look what I found in the drawer. I'd say aha if I found money in a drawer. Justice? Aha. All right, in your language notebook, number them again, and I want you to write down your own interjections for these 7 sentences. Oh, 8 sentences. Write down your own interjection. We are not all going to have the same here. We're going to have some varieties. Alyssa, enough, please. 1 through 8. Language notebook. This PowerPoint is on Schoology if you need to go back to it or for some extra help on it. Yes, ma'am.
One time, my mom was holding the phone in the car, and then she goes, "Yippee!" I was like, "What?"
Nice. Good interjection. Maybe she caught a green light, so she was excited while she was driving.
Miss Bush. One time, well, like, you know how you said your nails come off? I was talking to me before, and because my dad was, like, angry, and we were in, like, road class, he slammed the car door so hard, my nails just fell off. It hurt really bad.
All right, finish up those 8, guys.
Miss Bush. Can you use the same ones twice?
You could use one more than once. Raise your hand if you're still working. All right, one more minute. You're just writing the interjection, not the whole sentence. All right, ladies and gentlemen, your 1 through 8, I would like you to share with somebody in your area while staying in your seat.
No. So for number 1, I got yay. Girl, did you like that? Hey.
interjection homework for tonight. You guys do have a vocabulary on interjections. And then I'm going to pull up, we have some poetry assignments to do too. And I want to point out something. So I graded yesterday your haiku assignments. Oh, my mouse. Come on. On your haiku assignments, when I was grading them, haiku had a very specific rule on the 3 lines. Who remembers what our specific rule was for the 3 lines? Sophia?
It has to have specific syllables.
Specific syllables. And do you remember what the number was, Sophia?
575.
575. So I did have some questions from some friends about, well, why did I miss anything on the haiku? I did the 3 lines and I had an illustration. I don't understand. Ladies and gentlemen, if you did not have 5, 7, and 5 as your syllables, then that is why you were missing points. These poems that you guys are submitting are for test grades because they're part of our writing. They should be easy 100s because we've talked in poetry that there are lots of different varieties and the rules are kind of a little bit more flexible in poetry because you can have your own style. However, you have to follow the rules. You could have had, Bradley, you could have had uppercase letters, lowercase letters, punctuation how you wanted it. If you did not follow the 575 for the syllables, then you were missing points, okay? As long as you followed the 575, it was 100. Some people even got 105 points because of how neat it was with the writing and the illustration. Writing or typing, I should say, and with the illustration. Okay? So I am recognizing, just like on all of your assignments, if somebody goes above and beyond, I will give you more points. Okay? But it has to be exceptional. All of your poems, 100%, as long as you follow the rules. And most of them don't have many rules. Okay? All right. Your interjections, if you needed more points or more help, I do have a poster on Schoology on interjections. It gives a nice definition, some examples down below, having emotions, using them in greetings, having sounds, agreeing or disagreeing with interjections, okay, that you could take a look at. Also on language then, we have our poem for today. Mrs. Long's class and my class, you can get out your poetry packet. And we are turning to a limerick. It's going to look like this. A limerick poem. This is a silly 5-line poem. So there's one rule, 5 lines. If you submit 6 lines, are you going to get full credit?
No.
If you submit 4 lines, are you going to get full credit?
No.
5 lines, okay? And it has lots of rhyme and rhythm to it. The rhyme pattern is A-A-B-B-A, okay? And so what that means is line 1, 2, and 5 rhyme, okay? Lines 1, 2, and 5 rhyme. Line 3 and 4 then rhyme together. So do lines 2 and 3, do they rhyme together?
No.
No. Do lines 1 and 4 rhyme together? No. These 3 lines will rhyme together, and then these 2 lines will rhyme together. Ladies and gentlemen, that is your rule 2. If you don't follow the rhyming pattern rule, are you going to get full credit? No. The rhyme pattern for lines 1, 2, and 5 is a da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. Okay, that's the rhythm. Sorry, the rhythm. I am going to be more flexible on the rhythm. That is a hard skill and trait to learn as a writer, and we are just beginner poets here, so I'm going to be very flexible on the rhythm of it. The rhythm for lines 3 and 4 is a da-dum, da-da-dum. Okay, like I said, very hard to get to. See if you can hear it in this example called Magic Penny. There once was a cat named Mitch. He was roaming in a ditch. He found a penny, it turned into many, They now call him Mitch the Rich. Okay? What I want you to take note of, line 1, 2, and 5. Listen to the last words. Mitch, ditch, rich. Do they all rhyme?
Yes.
1, 2, and 5. Now listen to lines 3 and 4. Penny, many. Do those two rhyme?
Yes.
Okay, so when you're working on your planning pages, the first thing and the most important that you need to work on is those rhyming words. So if you go ahead and turn to your rhyming pages now. At the very top, it has some possible limerick topics. The topic is your choice. It can be anything from animals, sports, nature, friends, people, school, anything, okay? Some poems have specific topics, like we did one on the nature, okay? This one is whatever you want. The last word in each line. These are the boxes that you need to work the hardest on, okay? It's right here. This is what I'm going to be checking. Number 1, when I grade these. If you don't have this part right here, you're not going to get a good grade. The last 3 words in line 1, line 2, and line 5. Those are your 3 that need to rhyme. And then your last 2 words in line 3 and 4 have to rhyme. And then down below, this is your rough draft. Okay? Right now, I want you to go to Schoology on your iPad. And I want you to type in limerick examples. Limerick poem examples. And I want you to take a look at a few others so you can recognize that rhyming pattern that they are having. If you hear the rhythm, good, but really focus on the rhyming.
Did you say in Schoology?
Sorry, on Safari. On Safari, go to limerick poem examples, and I want you to read at least 3 examples. There was an old man with a beard who said, "It is just as I feared. 2 owls and a hen, 4 larks and a wren have all built their nests in my beard." That was another example. All right, ladies and gentlemen, your homework for tonight, you have your interjections vocabulary and you have your limerick poem. After you have finished, you have your final draft of your limerick, which you will take a picture of and submit right here where it says limerick poem final draft. Okay? Are there any questions for language? Bradley?
If like you type it and you can get extra points for handwriting, does that count?
So for extra points, it can be typed or handwritten. It's just by neatness. Okay? Your neatness is of the overall poem, and your illustration is also part of that neatness. And remember, your illustration can be printed, hand-drawn in pencil, crayons, markers, however you would like. However simple or detailed as you would like, but neatness is what's going to get you that overall, if you want that some extra points. Okay, I usually give anywhere from 2 to 5 extra points for ones that are exceptional. All right?
Are we allowed to look up like what topic we're doing? And
Yeah, so are you allowed to look up some ideas? Yes. By all means, look up ideas. Maybe you're stuck on finding a rhyming word. You're like, I can't think of a word that rhymes with dog. I'm needing some help. by all means, go to your Safari and help get some ideas. The only thing you cannot do is copy down somebody else's limerick poem. Okay? It has to be your original poem. Yes, that is called plagiarism, and we've talked about that a lot. Okay? So ideas are good for Safari, just not copying down. All right, go ahead and get started.